A number of you have been asking how it is that I can have a backup camera while I have my spare tire carrier on my Ascent, so I'm going to show you really quickly what I ended up doing. Now, this is not the method that I would suggest. I did think of better methods after this, which I'm going to go over as well. But anyway, here's my license plate, and here's my license plate lamps, and then here's my backup camera right here. This is wired to two stereo jacks that go into two stereo plugs that go into two stereo jacks, except these aren't regular jacks, these are switch jacks. So what happens is when they're plugged in, it switches, it cuts the connection from the built-in camera up here and then runs this connection through. The other wire here provides power to the camera because most backup cameras are 12 volts and the car camera is 6 volts. You can buy a 6-volt camera, but it's generally a lot more expensive, and I didn't feel like getting a cheap 6-volt camera. There aren't that many options. So I got a good 12-volt camera. So when these are plugged in, this camera is working, and this camera is off because the switch to it is cut off. So here you see my rear view right now, and you see that there's no tire obstructing it, and you can see my back fence. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get out of the car, and we're going to unplug those wires. And then as soon as I unplug these, what's going to happen is Iron Maiden's going to turn on, but now you can see the built-in camera, which is pointing at my spare tire carrier. So that's basically how I did it. Plugging these back in is going to, again, provide 12-volt power to the backup camera, and the switch jack is going to turn off the video feed from this camera and turn on the video feed to the other camera. Now, what I probably would have done had I thought this out a little bit more was to just have a plug that has the 4 wires under here someplace, and then have a fifth wire that loops. That fifth wire would have driven a relay, so the plug from this would have went into it, and there would have been a loop in the fifth wire to go back in from the power to a relay. So as soon as I plugged in the camera feed in, what would have happened is it would have made the relay trigger to then switch video feeds, and then the other wires that went in it would have been your video feeds. So that's probably the method that I would use. So it didn't require drilling into here, but even with it requiring drilling into here, these close up if I ever take the hitch off, and then I just relocate the license plate right above it, and I'm good to go. Anyway, so I hope that helps you all, give you some ideas. Again, the built-in camera is 6 volt. Most of the car cameras that are most easily obtainable are 12 volt. So you do need to run a power feed or get a 6-volt camera from out here if you want to use the power feed from the built-in one. I didn't want to be drawing anything from anything connected to the head unit. A standard video feed, sending it back in is one thing, but I didn't want to be messing with the power anyway, so I ran my own 12-volt feed. These are standard stereo switch jacks in here, and a standard stereo plugs on the end. Hope that helps.